I've been totally hooked on mobile RPGs lately. Not gonna lie, it took me forever to find the good stuff this year. But after testing a ton of action RPGs, I finally have my top 15 best action RPG games for Android and iOS in 2025 video. Stick until the end, because these picks won't disappoint. Let's dive in. Number 15. Valoris is a brand new action RPG that instantly gave me old-school Prince of Persia vibes. The movement feels fluid, the environments are well designed, and the combat has a nice weight to it. Also, I really like the graphics. That being said, the whole play-to-earn setup means some characters are locked behind a paywall. Honestly, I think Valoris could have stood strong on its own without leaning into that crypto-style model. Number 14. L3E7 takes that Pokemon Go style get outside and explore formula and flips it into a full-on anime action RPG. Instead of just catching creatures, you're actually battling through your own city and nearby locations with flashy, over-the-top combat. It's such a wild mix of genres. A bit of open-world exploration, some character collecting, and a lot of fast-paced anime action. If you've ever wanted to turn your own neighborhood into an RPG battlefield, this game pretty much nails that fantasy. Number 13. Astera is from the same people who made Eternium, so they already know their way around fast-paced hack-and-slash combat, the kind of game where you blink and suddenly an entire group of enemies is just gone. Now, I won't sugarcoat it. The game's new, so you'll probably run into a few bugs or moments where your character suddenly decides walls are the new playground. But honestly, I didn't care much, because I was too busy finding new gear, testing out talents, and turning my hero into a miniature tank. There's so much potential here. If the devs keep polishing it, this could easily become one of those RPGs you keep installed for years. Number 12. AlternaVvelt Blue Exorcist is one of those anime games where you start playing just to check it out, and then suddenly realize you've been sitting there for hours, ignoring everything else. If you've watched the Blue Exorcist anime, you'll feel right at home because the game throws you straight into that same supernatural, demon-slaying chaos. If you're into stylish action with a heavy dose of anime drama, this is a no-brainer. Number 11.
Take down anyone in your way.
Bloodline. A Rebel Moon is basically a mix of RPG elements and that whole Rebel Moon vibe. You collect and build up a team of characters, each with their own unique skills, and send them into battles that feel surprisingly cinematic for a mobile game. I'll be honest, it's not perfect. Some missions can feel a bit repetitive, but if you're into squad-based RPGs with a strong sci-fi atmosphere and flashy abilities, it's absolutely worth giving a try. Number 10.
Survive for the allotted amount of time? Dodge their attacks? Damn it! How long do I have to—
Solo Leveling Arise is one of those games that just grabs you right away. The combat feels slick and satisfying, with flashy skills that make you feel like you're in the middle of a high-budget anime fight. The animations are top tier, and the boss fights actually make you think a bit instead of just mashing buttons. It does have some gacha elements, so you might find yourself chasing that perfect drop. But if you're a fan of the series or just love action RPGs with over-the-top style, this one is dangerously addictive.
Let's get sizzled.
Number 9. Soul Huntress is a fresh hack-and-slash game on mobile. The visuals are solid, and the RPG elements like gear upgrades and skill customization make the combat feel satisfying and fluid. That said, it could definitely use more variety, especially when it comes to maps and enemy types. After a while, things start to feel a bit repetitive. But even with that, it lays down a great foundation, and I'm excited to see where future updates take it. Number 8. At first glance, Punishing Gray Raven looks like your typical anime-style action RPG, but once you dive in, the combat system just grabs you and doesn't let go. The game is all about fast-paced, combo-heavy fights where timing and dodging are just as important as raw damage. It feels like a dance, and when you nail those perfect chains and counters, it's seriously satisfying. If you like action RPGs with a challenge and aren't afraid to put in some time to master the combos, Punishing Gray Raven is definitely worth checking out. Number 7. Zenless Zone Zero is developed by HoYoverse, the same team behind Genshin Impact, so you know the production quality is going to be top-notch. The game throws you into a dystopian cyberpunk city. What I really like about Zenless Zone Zero is how it blends slick, fast combat with a deep narrative and atmosphere. The city environments have this vibrant neon glow that really nails that cyberpunk vibe, and the character designs are sharp and stylish. If you enjoy games that mix intense combat, great storytelling, and a killer art style, Zenless Zone Zero is definitely one to keep an eye on.
Let's switch, Andy!
Number 6. This game throws you into the chaotic world of One Punch Man, where you get to control iconic characters like Saitama, Genos, and others. What really grabbed me was how the game nails that blend of humor and action. You'll find yourself one-shotting mobs like Saitama, but there's also plenty of strategy in how you build your team and use different abilities. But it is not perfect. The story mode feels a bit rushed, and there's definitely a lot of grinding involved if you want to max out your heroes or collect all the characters. Still, if you're into flashy anime beat-em-ups and don't mind some grind, One Punch Man World is worth checking out. Number 5. Crystal of Atlan has finally launched. I've been anticipating this one for what feels like an age. It's an MMO action RPG that packs in both PvE and PvP modes, but let me tell you, the absolute highlight for me is the combat. It's genuinely smooth, incredibly responsive, and every hit just lands with such a satisfying feel, making you want to dive right back into the action. I've personally lost a good few hours just getting to grips with different combos and abilities because it's that engaging. Now, a small heads up, you will need a reasonably capable device to get the best out of it, as those slick graphics and effects do ask a fair bit from your hardware. However, if your phone or tablet can handle it, this is a fantastic multiplayer game that I wholeheartedly recommend. Number 4. At first, I thought Shadowborn would be just another cash grab RPG with flashy promises but shallow gameplay. But after giving it a shot, I was genuinely impressed. What hooked me most was how solid the gameplay feels. Combat is engaging without being overly complicated, and there's enough variety to keep you interested for hours. Plus, being able to enjoy it offline is a huge bonus. Definitely give it a try if you're looking for a mobile RPG that actually respects your time and doesn't feel like a cash grab. Number 3. Single-player action RPGs on mobile are pretty rare, and Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm actually delivers a solid experience. The story mode does a decent job of pulling you in, especially if you're a Naruto fan. Of course, it's not perfect. Some of the menus feel a bit clunky and the controls take a little getting used to. But overall, it's refreshing to see a mobile game put real effort into single-player content. We definitely need more games like this that focus on delivering a quality solo experience without pushing endless multiplayer or microtransactions. Number 2. As a big Game of Thrones fan, I had to try Kingsroad the moment it dropped, and I gotta say, it actually does a lot of things right. The combat feels impactful, the open world is surprisingly detailed, and the single-player story? Way better than I expected for a mobile game. It really brings that Westeros vibe to life, and it's refreshing to see a mobile title focus on storytelling and world building instead of just autoplay grind. Of course, it's not perfect. The game definitely needs better optimization, especially for mid and low-end devices. It can lag or stutter at times, and I wish it had an offline mode for those moments when you don't have a connection. But if you've got a decent device and you love Game of Thrones, this one's absolutely worth checking out. Number 1.
Stay sharp.
Wuthering Waves is honestly the game I keep coming back to every single day on my phone. The combat system is really something special. It's fast, fluid, and gives you that satisfying feeling when you pull off combos. I love just wandering around, discovering hidden spots, and exploring different regions. The downside? Yeah, it's a pretty heavy game, so if you're on a low-end device, expect some struggles. But if your phone can handle it, Wuthering Waves is definitely one of the best action RPGs on mobile right now.
Until my last breath.